If you're looking to land a job and get hired, I've written down 5 points plus a bonus at the end that will ensure you actually get the job or highly increase your chances. We're currently in the process of hiring people, and this is practical knowledge of what I look for when I'm about to hire, and I think it will help you in any job you go for. So, number 1, study the company that you're going for the job interview. This is almost goes without saying, but you'll be surprised how many people don't actually invest in learning about the company that they're going to. Find out who works there, look into their social media pages, stalk them, learn what the company actually does, look at all their pages on social media, actually deep dive and have an understanding fully so that you can tell your friend what that company does and how they work. That's number 1, go in knowledgeable. Number 2, find out what the company is doing right and wrong and communicate that to the person along with the results that you can bring. So, for example, if you're going to be a social media manager, have a look and find out all the things that they're doing right and find out areas that you could improve them and then how you can actually bring a result in that area. So, for example, I see you currently have 2,000 followers. I believe that if we do these few tweaks, we can gain you at least 100 followers a month over the next year, because what I'm planning on doing is X, Y, and Z. And when I researched it, I didn't see you were doing that. However, what you guys are doing really well is you have lots of posts going out, your branding looks good, and I notice that whoever's writing your captions is really explaining it well. Then the person feels, oh wow, they've researched into it. So the idea is not to make the person wrong, but it's to actually make the person who's interviewing see that there's areas that you can bring even better results in. That's why they're hiring you. Okay, next, present the results that you have created in other companies that you've worked for in the past. Don't say, oh, I was the best salesman. Really, tell me, what sales did you bring? Oh, I landed over $1 million worth of deals over the 2 years that I was there that I single-handedly closed on. Now I'm following. You're bringing results. If you're going for a social media position, you say, look, I started this account, have a look at the links, and I took it from having no followers to having 1,000 followers in the first 6 months. So now I can see results. It's important that you communicate it. Before you go to the interview, prepare that so that you go in with very strong results to showcase. Number 4, be willing to take on any role. That sounds a little out there, but if you're going to be a social media manager in our example, be willing to take on the job of receptionist, assuming that they pay you right and so forth. But be willing. Willing doesn't mean that you will, but if they say, look, we do want you in the marketing, but for the first month, we might need you as a receptionist. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'll do anything. I'm willing to work. I want to come and work here. I know your company well, and I think I can bring value in any role you put me in. If you go in with that point of view, you'll impress them. And be really genuine, of course. Number 5, show up presentable. Basic grooming, smell good. You'll be surprised how many people show up that don't smell good. And dress decently. You don't have to wear a tie, but look presentable. And the bonus. Here's something that you need to know. When somebody asks you a question in a job interview, answer their question. Don't go around in a story. If the person asks you, hey, why did you leave your previous job? Don't say, well, funny you ask, because a lot of times I wonder to myself if I should leave a job or not. A lot of times I think deeply into, what does it mean to hold a job? And don't go into a whole story. You say, the reason I left the job was because it was time for me to grow and to actually bring more results in a new role. But I left that job in a really good position, and I still have a really good relationship with them because I didn't leave them empty-handed. I replaced myself before leaving. Okay, you've answered the question. So do that, answer the question, and also you don't need to over-communicate. If the person asks you a question, answer the question, and you don't need to tell an additional long story. You'll be surprised how being to the point, straightforward, and actually willing to be truthful will make all the difference. Don't try to be fancy and use big words and embellish your story. You don't need that. Answer the question and don't over-communicate. I hope that those tips help. I'm sure that they will assist you to land a job much better. And if you actually follow them and come prepared, you'll get it. Let me know how it goes. Leave a comment in the comments. Write to us if you've had good results by watching this video. And of course, please share it. Thank you for watching. See you soon.